And we're live. Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to our very first episode of the From Zero podcast. My name is Danae.
And I'm Jocelyn.
And before we talk about ourselves and a little bit for you guys to get to know your host, we kind of just wanted to talk about why we started this podcast and who it's for.
Yes. So we started this podcast to get an idea of what it's like to start your own business. I think that there's not a lot of information or content out there where it's gravitating towards young business owners. So we want to kind of tell our story and then also hear other people's story and how they started their own business. So, I mean, we're just going to...
Yeah, I think eventually we'll start having more entrepreneurs and everything, but we kind of just wanted this first one to be about us and kind of how we're growing our business. We aren't where we want to be yet. I don't think we are, but we're just growing our business, and we kind of just want to share that experience with you guys, and hopefully it inspires other people to kind of just start growing their business, because I know a big thing is just pushing yourself out there even when you don't feel like it, and that's one of the biggest things. So hopefully when you guys see this, you guys get inspired, because we're not perfect, obviously.
Far
so
from it.
yeah, we're making mistakes already, but we kind of just want to share our journey, and hopefully it inspires you guys.
Yeah, to just start.
Yeah, and just share our mistakes, our growth, and everything, and just talk about a little bit about our personal lives and how we got to where we are right now. Yeah, so...
Well, to start off, you said that you were 18 when you got your real estate license?
Yes, so my business has to do with all real estate. I got my license at 18, my real estate license. I started school at 17 for those classes. 18, I took the test. I passed it. Not the first try, but I ended up getting there. 18, and then at 21 I got my broker's license. So I went from real estate agent, I even got my loan officer's license in between there, and then at 21 I became the designated broker of Home Pros Advantage, which is our second entity for our real estate company.
And question, did you think that getting your real estate license is hard? Because everybody kind of complains or says, like, it's so hard. Do you think it was hard?
I think the classes were super easy. They were just sitting there watching. Actually, I took it during COVID, so I actually had to take it through Zoom. So
Crazy.
It was just like super boring and everything. And all the classes were online, so I was just like there, Zoom. So it was whatever to me, to be honest, the classes itself. But then the test is the one that took me a while, especially because I actually took the test online from home. So they let me take the school test from home, and I couldn't pass that thing. I don't know if it was because it was the environment around there and everything, having to do it at home, but I was just there, and I just couldn't pass it. It took me a couple tries, and I'm not very good at tests either. So
no,
it was just
I'm
like
not either.
It was like
it
terrible.
took me a few times too. I think
Yeah.
on the 5th time is when I passed mine.
Yeah, I think so too. It took me a while, and then I went to take my real estate the state and national exam. I took that. It took me less tries. I don't even know how many tries it took me, but it took me quite a bit to pass both of those tests and everything. Actually, the broker's test was easier for me. I think after getting all that experience, you need 3 years of real estate experience to get your broker's license. And so I think it became a little bit easier for me to go from taking my real estate to taking my broker's, at least for me. But yeah, the test is...
Because you already had that experience.
I already had that experience and everything and that knowledge, and I already knew how much an acre was, which is what... That's going to be on the test for sure.
Yeah.
So it's...
If you take anything from it, how much is an acre?
Yeah, how much is an acre? That's all you're going to learn in that class and everything. But yeah, I took that, and yeah, I started real estate.
Yeah, and so the reason you got your real estate license was because of your dad.
Because of my dad. So he's been doing this for over 20 years and everything. So he's been in real estate his whole life. So from the very beginning, I was already in real estate. He would take me everywhere with him. So like to show houses, as I was 5, showing houses already, opening houses and everything. And so I already had that basic experience and everything. But actually, I don't think I even wanted to get my real estate license at 18, at least for me personally. But my dad's like, no, you know what? You got to get it. you don't have to do anything with it, because I also did go to college. The goal
Mm.
was to go to law school, but that didn't end up happening. I actually stayed in real estate because I found a passion for it. But yeah, I was in college, and I was 18, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do real estate, but I'll get the license and everything, and just there. So little by little, I already had some basic knowledge of real estate, but little by little, I started getting more. And he's like, well, you don't want to do real estate, but you still have to learn everything. So I was a showing agent for a little bit. I was transaction coordinating, and I think that's also where I found a passion for communicating and training agents, because while I was transaction coordinating, I was with other agents, and I was working with them one-on-one and just trying to help them.
And you
And
like that side more.
I like that side. I started liking that side, but there wasn't anything for me at that point to like any position or any role in that besides transaction coordinating. So I just stayed like that for a while until we opened that second entity for non-realtors. So in Arizona, you don't have to be a realtor to have access to the ARMLS and Super, which is all the systems that you need to have access to being a real estate agent. So you can just be a licensed real estate agent. So when we opened that second entity, my dad's like, well, we need a broker. And so I was like, well, I'm at that 3-year mark. Luckily, that same year we were opening that second entity. He was like, we have to have another broker. You're at your 3-year mark, so why don't you just go and you get it? And I was like, oh, well, okay, and everything. And from there, I started leaning more into that agent training and everything. So we started doing more classes for recruitment, the Google My Business, a lot of social media type classes and everything. And he's like, well, go out there. And I was like, okay, like, I don't want to, but I'll try it and everything. It was putting myself out there, and we were starting doing those classes. And I always enjoyed doing those one-on-one with agents and everything, and getting that personal connection with them, and just like kind of just like getting to know them more. Because I think in real estate, you have like a month or two when you're with the buyer or the seller, and you get to know them and everything. But after that, it kind of like, they kind of just like go away little by little, and you don't have as much connection with them anymore. Whereas an agent, when you're with them, when they're with you under a brokerage, you're with them a lot, especially in the beginning stages when they're transitioning and you're helping them and helping them use the systems that we provide and everything. So it was just like, I think my moment where I saw, I was like, well, I really like this. I didn't, not so much the buying and the selling, which I still do.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it, but I think I found more a passion of like training agents. And so like when you came, I was like so excited, because she was one of the first agents where you were around my age.
Yes.
And like that moment where we met, what was it, last year?
So we met. She was doing a class for,
I think it was like Google or something.
Yeah, Google My Business. I thought it was really cool that you were super young and a woman, and you were just standing in front of these old
people.
older
We're going to say
people.
old. Yeah.
Sorry to those
us.
who get offended, but yeah. And I was like, what? Like in my situation, I've never seen you were the first young person that I saw in real estate. Yeah. And that got my attention. And later on is when I started kind of like asking you more questions and trying to see maybe if Home Pros was for me or not. Yeah. And the way you guys navigated was very different from the other brokerages that the previous one that I was at. So that kind of brought me into going into Home Pros.
To be honest, many brokerages are a bit old school, if you ask me. I think we have some of the best technology, and we're always looking to advance and everything, especially with technology and AI. Everything's growing, and I think you have to advance with the times, or else you're going to get left behind. But yeah, we met through that Google class, and I remember seeing you being one of like the youngest people there, and I was like so excited, because I don't usually see many agents around my age. Now last year I started connecting more with younger agents, and I get super excited when I connect with them. But prior, like when I took my test, everyone was twice my age.
Yeah.
Everyone. When I take my broker's license, everyone was 2-3 times my age, you know? And so when I met you, I was like, oh yeah, I want to connect with her, because she's my age. Maybe we can relate to each other. And yeah, I think we kind of clicked and everything. And that's why we started this podcast together. Cause
I think we're very similar. We're both very timid and
Just a
more
little.
to kind of like more to like what we're doing to ourselves. But yeah, we're in this growing
These growing
experience
phases
together.
together and
Yeah.
everything. So yeah, it's nice to have someone who's in that same, like, looking to grow too and
Yeah,
everything, instead
mindset.
of being with people that already know what they're doing, you know. So it's always good to connect with the older generation.
Yeah.
I found it really amazing during my first few months that everyone was helping me like navigate these transitions of real estate and everything, and giving me advice on how to do stuff. So they provide a lot of advice and everything.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're very stuck in their old ways sometimes, that you can't learn anything. How would I say it? Like, anything that's happening recent, like AI and everything. I think you
Yeah.
have to connect more with younger people who are always on social media. I'm on social media way too much, and I shouldn't be, but I am, and everything. But
Yeah. I think we all kind of are. Our Gen Z generation, it's just social media.
it's just
on
social
your
media
phone.
and everything. So I think we're able to grasp social media really quick, and AI and all of that. But the older generation have a harder time, but they have a lot of knowledge, and
Yeah.
it's amazing to connect with them and see how they got where they got and
Yeah.
everything. But I also think it's good to connect with younger people
Yeah.
and
Just
see, like,
taking away from each person and like younger and older, and kind of building your own brand or what you kind of want to create. And
Yeah,
with that.
absolutely.
But yeah. And you
Yeah.
not only work with your dad, but you work with your entire family.
My entire family. So I
And
have.
how is that?
It can get complicated sometimes, to be honest. I have 3 younger siblings, 9, 14, and 18. And I think I connect more with my 18-year-old sister, only because she's with me more often, in terms of, like, she's the one who has her own videography business, she's just starting out, same thing, her own small business and everything, trying to get clients and everything. And she's always there recording me and helping me and everything. And then we have my brother, who's working on getting used to the drone and everything, and he's actually helping us right now with the podcast and everything. So he's right behind the scenes and everything. So he's always with me too. And then the little one, she's still 9, so she's still into the whole, like, I don't want to be here and everything, but she's homeschooled, so she's always at the office with us and everything. So yeah, so it can get complicated because we're always together and everything, and because we're siblings, we always like
Bump heads here
yeah,
and there.
yeah. So, but it's I think it's cool to grow a family business together and supporting each other, and our goal is to help each one of us to grow in our own thing and everything. But yeah, it can get a little complicated working with family.
Yeah.
But
That's tough.
it can get tough, yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, they're your family. So
Yeah.
you're going to kind of like, good and bad, you guys are going to be there for each other.
We're going to be there for each other, yeah. So
yeah.
I think it's not common, actually, I don't think, to have like
No.
your whole family working with you
No.
and everything.
Yeah.
But so every time I go somewhere, one of them is always with me.
Yeah.
You know, either my sister to a real estate event, because now she has a real estate license too. You know, it's like a family
just
thing
got it,
at 18.
right?
Yeah, like last June or something. She's 17 taking the classes. 18 she got a real estate license, and so next is my brother, and so we're all gonna end up getting our real estate license, whether we use it or not. I think it's still beneficial to have it and everything, because it just opens more opportunities, more doors and everything. I actually went to got invited to UWM in Michigan because I had my real estate license. We were literally just in a class, and someone's like, hey, who wants to go to see UWM in Michigan? And we're like, yeah, why not? And it's like all expenses paid and everything, hotel and everything. And we had training and everything, and getting to know over there and everything, and connecting, and it was just a great opportunity. So you get more opportunities when you get your real estate license. So every time someone asks me, should I get my license, I was like, yeah, absolutely. You don't even have to do the buying or selling, you know. You have the broker side, you have transaction coordinating, you have all these little things, wholesaling. More than just the buying and selling. So it opens so many doors. So when someone says like, should I get my license, I always say yes, absolutely, go for it. Yeah, why not?
And people just get too scared and they don't start, and and it just stays like that.
Yeah, they don't start. They just get too nervous, and that's why I think it's helpful for us to tell you, like, you know, you might be like scared or anything, but just do it. I mean, we did it. We were scared.
Yeah.
We're scared of doing this right now, but we're doing it. We're putting ourselves out there. It might be uncomfortable, but it's just like that step, like to like, okay, you know what, whatever.
It
Like,
wasn't that bad. Once it's over, you're like, okay, it wasn't that
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
But yeah. And so going back to your family and stuff, once you're home, do you guys leave that at home, that all that work, or do you still keep talking about it at dinner and so on?
We talk about it all the time. Like it's 24/7. I don't even think there's a moment where we don't talk about business. It's either like how do we grow our brokerage? How do we help the agents, or what type of content do we have to create? Or like right now we're focusing on my brother. He wants to go to Westmec, and how would he grow his business at such a young age? The videography business. So we're always talking about business. So not necessarily real estate to be, but it's always business. And we were having a conversation. It's like, what do normal families talk about? Like, other than like, because it's always either business or our religion, Christianity, like theology, or college, because my sister's in college, so she's taking accounting classes, philosophy. So all of those topics we talk about, but not really like, oh, how's your day? Probably also because we're always together and everything, and
you guys
doing
know
the same thing.
Day.
Yeah, we already know what you did. You were right across from me.
Yeah,
and everything.
I know what you ate. No.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we had the same lunch and everything, but yeah, it was kind of like just all business and everything. So it can get boring sometimes talking about business, but that's all we talk about, and growing it and everything. So I think that's also why when I talk to people, it's always business too. It's like, how can I help you grow your business? We might not even be in the same brokerage, but I want to help you. My goal is always to help people, especially agents. When I see new agents, young agents, I get so excited to see them because, again, I didn't have that many agents my age when I started at 18. So now at 23, I'm 23, I see so many people my age. I see 19, 20, 21, and I see all of them. My sister got a license. The guy that she met in the classes, he actually moved to our brokerage because he connected with her, and he's like, you know what, like I like your brokerage, let's move here. And it's just like seeing so many people. Like she said that most of the people at her class were actually in their 20s, their early 20s. And it's like, how cool would that have been if that had been my experience? But it wasn't. But
no, same here. I mean, when I was in class getting my real estate license, it was just older people, and everybody had more experience, understood the questions, understood what was going on, and I was just like, no. I was like, oh, I don't know what's really going on.
I know what an acre is. That's it. Yeah, that's what it is. But.
Oh my God. And do you ever feel like you're up at a like standard where you have to like exceed, or else your dad won't really, like appreciate the work you're doing or anything like that?
Yeah, I think my dad has always been there for me, so he's always pushed me to do better and everything, and he's never once said like, oh no, you're doing this bad, I'm not proud of you or anything. I think it's more so for me and just like trying to meet those expectations that I have for myself and what I think other people have for me in that sense, because again, I got my broker's license at 21. Most of the people that were in training with me, all 2-3 times my age. So I would see them and I would see how much knowledge they would have, and I would get intimidated. I would feel a lot of pressure. Like, these people already know what they're doing with their lives. They already have their businesses set, and I'm still over here, 21, like, just still trying to figure out
what an acre is.
Yeah, learn what an acre is and everything. So it's like I felt a lot of pressure from the outside. I guess more my family has always been supportive and everything. So I'm thankful for that. But outside, just feeling that pressure, like, well, I'm too young. And when I was 18, when I got my real estate license too, because people were twice my age, it was like I looked like I was 12, and so everyone I feel like would take me as if I was 12, like, oh, like you're taking, when I was going with my dad to these real estate events, they're like, oh, you're taking your daughter to work. And I was like, no, I'm licensed and everything. So when people would tell me that, I feel like my confidence would kind of like go down a little bit, because it's like, well, they think I'm young, so I must not know enough. Yeah. And everything. But in reality, my dad was putting me in like transaction coordinating, and every day we would go over the contract and everything. And I am confident enough to say that I knew more about that contract than most agents do and everything. Like, most agents don't even know there's 2 contracts in Arizona. So it's like, I know more. It's just that when people would tell me like, oh, you look so young, I would be like, well, yeah. So I kind of, it would just like put my confidence downwards, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, maybe I don't know enough. So little by little, I'm growing out of that
Mm-hmm.
and everything. I think also the way that I dress was. I was wearing like little flower shirts and everything, so people wouldn't take me seriously with those flower shirts. But now that I'm improving my way of dress, I'm improving my makeup too, because I don't wear much makeup. I still don't and everything, but it just makes me look a little older with the
With
eyelashes
the
and the
makeup.
lip gloss and everything. But yeah, so I just little things that I'm trying to change and improve, and just being more confident in myself and not looking so timid when I walk out the door and everything. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm young. And I was like, no, I'm young. So what? Like,
Yeah.
we're just gonna keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. Knowledge brings competence.
Knowledge brings competence. Yep.
Honestly.
Yep. So
Oh my god.
that's one advice we would give for you guys. Like,
Yeah.
just
Build yourself with knowledge.
build yourself with knowledge. You know, learn what you're doing. Learn the trade. Just keep growing, learning, and everything, and eventually it'll pay off.
It will. It definitely will. Like I
Yeah.
ended up.
Knowledge brings confidence. Confidence brings, or how does it go?
I think it is like that.
Something like that. We probably mixed it up, but that's what we're trying to say. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
learn.
Um. Let me see here. So I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the stats that we've learned,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of agents in the year eventually drop out.
Yeah, like about, I believe it's about 50% of agents drop their license within the first year.
Mhm.
And it's kind of scary if you think about it. It's like,
Yeah.
because most people, real estate is hard. And people don't, I don't think people understand
Realize
how hard it is. Yeah. Because it's not just like what people see on social media, like, oh yeah, I got a bunch of deals and everything. For most common people, most common agents, it's like the first year, it's you just learning, you training and everything, and you learning how to get your leads, especially if you don't have a big know many people and
Yeah.
you're not out there as much. It's hard in the beginning, but you have to put yourself out there. You have to start either cold calling, open houses, using your CRM, door knocking, all of those things. You have to start little by little, and it's not easy and everything. And people assume that, oh, because I can work any hours, like I don't have a 9 to 5, I can do whatever I want. And it's like, no, if you want to succeed in this business, you have to put the effort and everything. And people I don't think agents or people who are getting their license realize that and everything until they're actually there. And it's like, well, I don't have any leads. I don't know how to do this and everything.
Yeah, you start off like with your family and those are your leads, and eventually that runs out.
Yeah.
You know? So where are you going to get the rest from? And I don't know, people sometimes pay for those leads.
Yeah.
But if you don't know, we had talked about, like, if you don't know the basics, your CRM, if you're not set up, then it's hard for you to continue getting all these leads if you're not even nurturing the ones that you already have.
Absolutely. And that's why a lot of agents tend to go to teams in the beginning. But even with teams, they require a lot of accountability, you know, just staying there, and like you actually have set times. You have to be there from this time to this time, and you have to make these amount of calls. So it's a lot of effort, and it's not just like whether you're joining a team or not. It's a lot of effort that you have to put into getting leads and everything, and just nurturing them, like you said, and everything. So it's a lot of work, and a lot of agents or a lot of soon-to-be agents don't realize that. So that's one tip for you. Just know that it's not gonna be easy, you know. So there's many agents that get lucky, and many agents already started to create their network before they got their license. So they already know a lot of people, and that's why it's easier for them. But if you don't have any sort of network, it's gonna take time, you know. So, and I think that was another thing for me, is that most of the people that I knew my dad, and we're both real estate agents. So at that time, it was like, well, they know him, you know. They don't know me. I'm young and everything, just got my license, but they know him. He's been doing this for over 20 years. So it's like, who are you going to choose? The one that just got their license, or someone who already who's already been doing this for a while and already knows what he's doing, you know? So they always go to him, and they always went to him in the beginning, you know, because they knew both of us. They could have met me first, but they still go to my dad because, I mean, he's the one with the experience and everything. So it's just, I think for me, my route was a little different from everyone else about in terms of getting their license and everything and all that stuff. But I mean, it's been good. It's been good. 75
to 87% of the real estate agents leave the industry within 5 years.
Within 5
That's
years.
crazy.
Yeah, so
And I haven't even hit the 5 years.
you're like, yeah, I mean,
I see why. I definitely see why they would back out in like 5 years and be like, yeah, I'm kind of done with this.
with
It's
real
too
estate,
much.
yeah,
It's overwhelming. It's stressful.
especially for many agents last year, it was slow for everyone. They
Yeah.
probably said it's like one of the worst in the last few years and
Yeah.
everything, and people were struggling, and so a lot of people just let go of their license recently. I think a few personally that just like, you know what, I can't do this anymore.
Mhm.
And but actually for other people, they took advantage of that, and they're like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna
keep building.
keep working and
Mm.
everything. And she actually, I think she tripled her production and everything.
Nice.
Celia, you know, she tripled her production, and she's like, you know what, it doesn't matter what time it is, I'm gonna just keep going and everything. And she did, and she closed more than she usually does and everything. So we're like, yeah, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's the deals are there.
the deals are there, yeah, and everything. You just have to work them, and you have to be willing to like put some effort and everything. And so, yeah. Yeah. So, is it time to ask you questions now?
I guess so.
I guess so. So why don't we start by getting to know you? Why don't you tell us about you, your business, your personal life? Start. there.
Okay. So I got my real estate license at 21, I believe.
Okay.
But I didn't use it right away. So I got pregnant while I was getting my real estate license, and I was in the process of doing the school and everything. And then from there, I just took a year to focus on my baby, and because that's what I wanted to do before I went into real estate. So once that year was up, I ended up going into this past year is when I started officially. And I was in a previous brokerage before I got with Home Pros, but they weren't very, I don't know how to say it, nurturing to me just being a new agent. And I needed more help, more guidance. And you guys were able to provide that. It was also a little bit easier to understand what route I needed to go from as a new agent.
Right.
Because that counts. I think that counts a lot. I think you start and just like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah.
I'm just right here. Like, what's going on? Like, how does this work? And nobody, I had mentors that were helping me, but I guess when it came down to like, okay, this is what a transaction is. This is how it looks like. This is, and you go from here and you need this and this. And that is what was, I think, most difficult for me. And you guys helped cover that part of it.
Yeah. I think most agents, the same thing. They come in super excited, and that's amazing. But you have to make sure you do your research on brokerages. You know, you have to make sure you get the support, the training, the systems that you need to continue that excitement and growing with confidence and everything. Because a lot of agents tend to go to the 100% companies, and it's like, yeah, you're saving money, but you're not given anything. You're not given the support that you need. You're not given the systems. So sometimes it's better to go to a brokerage that may charge a little bit more at the beginning, but knowing that you can call them at any time, 9 p.m. because of a transaction, and they'll answer the phone, or because the systems. You need a CRM. If you're an agent that doesn't have a CRM, you need a CRM. You have to have one to grow in this business. You have to know how to use it. You have to know how to manage your leads, how to just stay in front of them. I think that's another problem with agents, is that they don't stay in front of their people, especially if you already have them. You just have to send emails, texts, and the system does that for you. You know, you don't have to do much and everything. So just continuing to grow those leads and everything, and just looking for a brokerage that is going to support all of your needs and everything, and just interviewing. I didn't know that, but people interview brokerages
Yeah, you're
too.
supposed to.
You're supposed to and everything. So not just because your friend told you, like, oh, this is a brokerage. You interview for yourself and find what's best for you and everything. Because not every brokerage fits for that person, you know. So agents need different things, you know. And so, yeah. But you're originally from Mexico, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm from Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco.
Okay.
Born there, not raised. I moved. My mom and I came to the United States when I was a year old.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, I didn't really know what it was like not being from here until I hit high school, once I hit high school, and I remember my mom would be like, you got to be a little bit more careful around what you do and who you hang out with, because that can, you're not just going to go to jail. You might get deported. And it sounds crazy, but that was just how, that was our mentality of how it had to be. So you have to be super careful about everything. I got DACA around 15 years old. And that's when they were kind of like, okay, are they going to take away DACA, or how is that going to work? And I to me, I was like, okay, well, I already have it, so it wasn't a big deal. But once I was trying to go to college, I was counted as out of state. So I didn't have, like, my tuition was like 3 times.
Really?
Than a normal student from here. And that started kind of taking a toll on me. I started noticing how different you get treated.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I have another experience in high school where we were going to Disneyland, and there was just this person randomly walking the streets, and we were getting off the bus, and he just started screaming because we obviously look Mexican, or we're just different color. They were just like, oh my God, you're not supposed to be here. You guys are a bunch of wetbags, and all this, like,
that's crazy.
Just bunch of bad words that he was screaming to us. Most of the people there, were born there, but there was a few people that weren't such like me. So it kind of hit us differently. Sure. And I remember kind of, I cried about it, because I'm just like, why is it so hurtful? Why do people have to be so hurtful? Absolutely. If they don't even know exactly who I am and why I'm here and what my parents have sacrificed in order for me to be here. So that was definitely something that built who I am.
Built who you are, yeah. We actually had a situation. It was a long time ago. I think it was like 5, 6. But we were on an elevator at a company, and we were going down the elevator, and my dad was talking in Spanish and everything. And this guy, big guy, he just got offended that my dad was talking in Spanish and everything. Yeah, and we were going down, and then as soon as the elevator opened, he kind of just like tackled my dad.
What?
Yeah, he just like went on top of him, and then his girlfriend, the guy's girlfriend or whatever, was stepping on his hand. And I was young. I didn't know. I panicked and everything, and I was just like, I moved away because he told me to move away and everything, and I was just like screaming.
Wait, who told you to move away?
My dad. My dad's like, just like, get out of here. So I was just in the corner outside of the elevator just crying my eyes out, and I was like, what is going on? All because he spoke Spanish. And it was just like a little traumatizing, because I still remember it, how it all went about and everything. And they ended up leaving, and then the cops were called and everything, and then my dad ended up with like a scratch on his eye and everything, because I think he was trying to like put his hands on his eye. I don't know. I was like panicking, and I was crying. I was so young and everything, but all because he was speaking Spanish. And it was like, oh my goodness. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That it would actually happen, but yeah. Yeah, that's our story. It definitely shaped who I am and everything.
No, yep, that definitely does.
Yeah, but how do we transition from getting hit in the face to next question? Let's go back to real estate. Actually, let's
just stick to real.
Let's just stick. Yeah, but so you're a mom, you're a wife, and you're building a business in real estate. How does a typical day look like for you?
I feel like in a day you can't sum up everything, but I schedule out my week. A good coach taught me how to schedule out my week and how to use my time wisely, because in the beginning I felt like I didn't have time for anything. But yeah, just typical day is trying to wake up early before my baby does, so that I can get enough time to either focus on myself and pack my husband lunch, and when he's out, get myself ready, whether it's the lead labs that we have to go to, shoot a video, or just focus on my CRM, calling people. That's basically what I do. try to schedule out also days just that I can stay home and clean and cook and laundry and all that fun stuff. But that's basically, yeah, that's basically
How old
like
is
a
your
whole
baby?
week. He's two.
He's two.
He's two. He's
Oh.
the terribles twos. I don't know if I believe in it. Here and there, I think it's just normal. I hear that 2 to 3 is when they're like pushing their boundaries and they realize like, oh wait, I'm a little person and I can do my own thing. And staying consistent with his behavior and how we want to raise him is another thing that is very big in my everyday life. Whether it's him having a toy and he's not using it correctly, and having me tell him, no, don't do that, and he doesn't listen. Okay, you know what? I've learned over time, the second 1 to 2 times I have to tell you no, and that's all you get. If you don't listen in those 2 times, there's a consequence, whether it's I just take the toy away or we leave whatever. If we're in a restaurant or in a store and he's acting out, then we'll leave. But I kind of got a little distracted there, but yeah, that's another part of my everyday life. Just
your everyday life.
It
must be hard though, because like
mentally it gets draining.
It must be, and you're handling that, and then you're handling your business, trying to grow your real estate business. Like just last year, you closed your very first deal. How did that feel?
It was, honestly, it was a really good feeling to see the family so grateful, because they were struggling pretty bad with finding an agent and a lender that could help them. I guess they went to 2 other agents and they basically told her, you know what, you're not going to be able to buy. Me being a new agent, I mean, she didn't tell me this until we closed, but like I didn't understand exactly the whole process. Kind of was learning as I go type of thing, because I didn't see this coming. Saying that, I feel like that's also taught me, like, okay, you always have to be prepared for anything. And whether it's your presentations, knowing if this situation happens, kind of where to go from there. But it was really beautiful seeing the whole moment happen. And that kind of pushed me into, you know what, it's okay if you're not going to have a client in 3 months, but put in the work now so that when it does come, you're prepared and it'll start flowing after that.
Yeah, and it wasn't easy. That first transaction had a little hiccups in the beginning, because I remember being kind of like right by you in that sense, and you were just like, okay, this happened, like, oh, this happened. And there were situations where like I hadn't even experienced before and everything, and they were just new, and it's like, okay, well, let me call my dad. Let me call the other broker and everything, and let's see how we can figure this out and everything, because there's like a lot of things, but you handle that really well. As a new agent, you just you were excited, you were willing to learn. I think that's another big thing. You wanted to learn, and you're like, okay, how do I do this right? How do I make sure I do everything that's best for my clients and everything? So if you're looking for a really good agent, she's your girl and everything. But
I try not to put the stress on the client.
Absolutely.
And I'd always try to, if anything, put the stress on your broker.
On the broker,
I'm just kidding. No, don't do that.
Do that. Don't put it on the client.
No, don't put it on the client. But like, I would try to figure it out on my own first, and then with the help of ChatGPT, sometimes that was really helpful. But then even then, there's always a problem, and there's always more than one maybe solution. So you're like, okay, what's the best solution for my client? And that's where kind of I sometimes get stuck, and I talk to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think, just never put the stress on your client.
Never put the stress, because if something happens on your end, your goal is to try to fix that before you have to talk about it with your client. So if it's unavoidable, like transactions falling through, it's completely dead, well, you know what, you have to tell your client. You can't just hide it from them. But if there's like little situations that you can fix before having to say anything, I think that's the best solution for everyone and everything. And it makes the experience better for the clients and everything, trying to just how they see it, they're like, oh, this is super easy and everything. And instead of like, they don't see the back end and everything of like transit, like, oh, this and the inspection and blah 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 and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think clients have the idea of you're the lender, you play all the roles, and you have all the knowledge. And even though you're supposed to have that knowledge, but to a certain extent, I feel like there's boundaries of like, well, I can't know exactly all of the lending side of it because that's not my job.
I'm not licensed,
and I'm not licensed, but clients do get that idea of that we play all these roles. But I mean, that's why you're supposed to talk to them from the beginning and inform them and have that consultation with them.
Telling them like, hey, this is what I do. You know, if you have these types of questions, your lender's here and everything. And that's why it's important to choose lenders that are going to communicate with them too. You know, if you have a lender that isn't responsive to you or to the client, it makes their experience so much worse, you know? So finding who you connect with and everything is really important. Your lenders, your escrow officers, your broker and everything, making sure your broker is answering you when you have these important questions and everything and situations that they're going to answer and be there for you and everything. So you were talking about how stressful it can be to be in real estate sometimes. What motivates you to keep you going on days that feel overwhelming and stressful? Like whether business or personal, you know what?
Just knowing the future is going to play out as it should if I put in the work now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So even if it's one or two things that I can feel very productive throughout my day, that kind of helps me just to kind of move on, or like, okay, we're going to go to bed and it's going to be a new day.
It's going to be a new day. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. One of my resolutions this year was to like be more consistent in scheduling and everything. Like you mentioned, like okay, this time I have to do this time, and there's always little things, especially time blocking. Time blocking is super important. I don't do it that well, but it's important.
It's a learning.
It's a lot of, and just staying consistent with it and everything is, even though in real estate I feel like it's always like it has their ups and downs. Like one day you have to show a house and one day you're meeting someone and they can only meet at this time and everything. So things are always changing, but having like set things that you have to do every day, you know, whether it's reading or watching some sort of podcast and stuff like that, and just like little things. Like you said, you have like a set time specifically for your kid while navigating real estate, because we don't have a 9 to 5, and so that means you have the opportunity to be at any time with your kid and everything and business. So how do you navigate that? Like,
so well, the reason I like real estate and I got into it was because you get to kind of create your own schedule, and being a mom, I have the time, the flexibility to focus on my kid whatever time I want. But I try to dedicate 20 to 30 minutes each day of whatever he wants to do, whether it's jumping in the bouncy house or on the trampoline, or playing with his cars, or just being outside. Anything he wants to do, then I'm like there. I don't say anything. I don't do anything. I just whatever he wants. I don't lecture him. It's just whatever he wants to do and play. That's his time.
And you just give him all your attention.
I give him my full attention. Yeah.
That's good. I think that's important, just to have those like, okay, so because you had also mentioned yesterday that it was like when it's business, he knows that he has to go like do his own thing and everything while I'm focused on my business, whether that calls and everything.
Exactly. So when he's taking a nap is when I try to do my calls, because usually I can't tell him to be quiet the entire time. He doesn't really get the concept. But so when he's napping is when I try to make my calls, and when he's up, if he has that 1 hour of watching TV, then I sit down next to him and I'm on my laptop doing my CRMs or sending out emails or anything that I have to get done right there in my computer, or editing a video. Then that's when I kind of do that.
Yeah. So was there ever a moment where you wanted to give up in this business, or you doubted yourself in any way?
All the time. I think recently is kind of where I doubted myself, because it's been a minute since my last transaction. So I felt like I should have had something now. Why isn't this working? I started comparing myself to other agents as well. And I'm like, oh, well, she just did this and she just closed this deal. Why why haven't I had
Mm.
another deal yet?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a kind of like when it's dry and there's nothing, that's when I kind of start doubting myself.
Yeah, I think every agent goes through that, like that feeling that you're not good enough in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I go through that sometimes too. It's like, well, nothing's happening this week. Like, I should be doing something. I should be getting this, and I should be all this stuff and everything. And I think that's a problem with social media and the fact that Gen Z are always on social media. I'm always on social media. So when I scroll and I see all of these like just sold and everything and
Mm-hmm.
them like on social media, like how good they're doing, it just gets a
Yeah.
little intimidating. And it's like, well, why can't I do that and everything? And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
we're all different and people find there's leads somehow. Some people made it on social media. Other people made it door knocking and everything, and it's just like not every agent has the same path and everything, and just remembering that we're all different and we're all, if we keep putting the effort, we're gonna get there eventually.
Yeah,
so
everybody has a different path to where they need to get.
Yeah, and everything. So yeah, every agent has different goals too, I think. You know, not everyone wants to be a listing agent or a buyer agent, or they don't necessarily want to do the buying selling section and everything. So it's but it does get intimidating just seeing, like, scrolling through social media and just like, oh yeah, another appointment, buyer consultation. It's like, I don't have one yet, like I don't have one right now. It's like and everything. So just, I think just getting off social media a little bit helps.
Being
helps
less
me.
on it, or not trying to take it personal,
or comparing yourself. Like we tend to compare ourselves a lot, especially I think as women. We tend to, like, beauty gurus and those ladies, like those high-end ladies, you know, you see them and you're like, oh, why am I not there yet, or something. And then you gotta think, well, we're young, we're 25, 23, you know, we're still growing, our business and everything. And so that's again why we wanted to start this podcast, in order to just show people that it isn't, not everyone is billionaires by 25 and everything.
No.
You know, we're still growing, we're still trying to grow a business. So hopefully in a few years we'll be millionaires and everything. So watch us now, and then you'll see us in a few years. Be all rich and everything. But
because it's progress, and that's the neat thing about social media, that you get to see your progress as you grow.
Absolutely. You know, I watched some of my old videos last week, and I was so tiny, and I was looking at how I would fidget myself a lot and move, and how scared I looked. And now when I do videos, I feel a little bit more confident and everything. I'm still working on it. Like right now with this podcast, the little stutterings and the little we're still learning how to remove those away from the way that I talk and everything, and just becoming more confident on camera. But just seeing how much I've grown and everything is inspiring and everything, knowing that I can, if I just keep pushing myself, I'll get there eventually, you know, where I want to be.
Yeah, because while we're doing this, I'm like, have a bunch of other things going on in my head. I'm just like, wait, I'm supposed to be looking at the camera.
Oh my goodness, I think half of the time I was looking over there.
I was looking at you the entire time.
Okay, so you're good. So if,
but I don't know, were we supposed to look at the camera?
Not that one. I think I was looking more at that one than these other ones and everything.
You see,
so
we're learning.
We're learning. I'm learning to look at the camera and everything. So if you see me over looking at the wall, just ignore that.
She's looking at a wall.
I'm looking at a wall, black wall with absolutely nothing in front and everything. Because, you know, when I focus on something, I just like stare at it and everything. And I wasn't saying that. I need to focus more on here and looking this way and everything. But I know we're learning, we're improving and everything.
It's gonna get better. Hopefully. Just know it's gonna get better.
It will. I'm sure of it and everything. So I think these are our final questions that we kind of wanted to both answer. Was there a moment when you realized I actually belong in this role in terms of real estate business?
I feel like not yet. I think I feel like I have that, as they say, the imposter syndrome, where I still feel like I don't fit in, or what am I doing? Is this even for me? Or stuff. Yeah, that happens. That actually happened to me when I first got my license. Same thing. I got my license and I'm like, now what? Like, I don't know if I belong in this. And actually, from the first few years before I got my broker's license, I still had that idea. Like, I don't think I belong here. Like, I'm not very good at this, and I'm not very good at that. Like, especially when it came to like speaking, public speaking, I was very
not sheltered, but I was homeschooled throughout high school, so I didn't really meet anyone. I would go out to stuff with my dad and everything, but even then I didn't have my license and everything, so it was just me. And so I became very conserved and everything. So if no one asks me about my personal life, I won't share anything. Like, that's how conserved I am. Like, it's always been about business and everything. So I really don't talk much about my life and everything. But yeah, I was high school, and then college is when I started putting myself out there, and then I got my license, and then I started doing videos. So little by little, I started gaining confidence. And then it wasn't until I got my broker's license and I became the designated broker where I felt like, okay, I can do this. I think I actually belong in this area of helping the agents grow. Because again, I enjoy the buying and the selling and everything, because I was on a team with my dad and everything, and we were doing both parts. But then when I transitioned little by little to that helping the agents, I felt like, okay, I think I can do this. I think I can help agents grow and everything. So I've been posting more videos on TikTok about like how to improve your content and how to use these systems to better improve to get leads and everything for agents and everything. Even though they're not with the brokerage, I always enjoy helping the agents.
Yeah.
And then when they comment,
is like, really helpful. I've seen them and I feel like they're very helpful videos.
Yeah, it's just like little clips, seeing like how I can better improve. Even people that are from the different states, like I've had followers from different agents from different states, so them saying like, wow, this is amazing. And I'm like, yeah, like you can do this, like let me know if you need help, like we can probably even do it Zoom. And I just get so excited to try to help them and everything. So I feel like I'm still learning and everything, but it's like that, like, okay, I think I can do this. I feel more confident in saying like, I think I belong here, I'm still working on it, but yeah. So yeah. So, what's another question? What's a fear you had early on that you don't have anymore?
I think I'm still in that fearful stage.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's only been a year. I don't know. I think maybe, well, now I'm a little bit more prepared when it comes to the clients. So in the beginning, I was just scared to tell them this is how it's going to go, or this is my job, or this is what I can, and now I'm just like, okay, yeah, like I do this and this is how it works and these are the steps. And before, I just was not able to even tell you like, oh, this is the steps and the process to buy your house. I just wasn't able to do that. And now I feel like now I know. Because I did my first transaction. So yeah, that's gotten better.
Yeah, I think one of my biggest fears was public speaking and talking to people, and just being confident when I talk to people, because I can talk to people, but I look very timid and everything.
Yeah.
I'm scared and everything. But little by little, I've grown. Like, as I was saying in the beginning, my dad put me to do classes, trainings for agents and everything in front of a whole bunch of people, and like 10, 15 people and everything. So getting out there, at least the first time, I was talking, and for some reason, everything turned off in my head, and I just froze. For like a good solid minute, I was there, and I just kept looking at the screen because I didn't want to look at the people, and I froze, and it felt so bad in the beginning, and then I felt like all the eyes were staring at me, and then I kind of just got the groove of it again, and I was like, okay, and then I just finished it and everything. But like in the beginning, I was just like shaking and everything. I felt cold but sweaty and everything, and I was just feeling all of these emotions, anxious and everything of doing my first class. So it's just putting yourself out there in those uncomfortable situations where you're like, I don't know if I want to do this and everything, and just like, okay, you know what, whatever, and everything. So that's why I've always found it good to have someone that pushes you and everything too, because if my dad hadn't pushed me, I don't think I would have gotten my license, at least at 18. I wanted to get my license, but not at 18, and he was like, nope, you got to get it. And thankfully I did, because 3 years I got my broker's license and everything. But just like that public speaking and everything, and just talking in front of the camera and everything.
Talking in front of the camera, I've gotten way better at.
Yeah, both of us, I think.
I was really bad at it. I couldn't speak into the mic right. I still do it, but I just go blank sometimes, and because I get so nervous about it. But just getting better at even recording houses. I didn't know. I would do the whole thing where you walk in and you like show everything, and you don't even see it because it's going I'm moving the camera too quick.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you learn as you go.
Yep, you learn as you go. And yeah, for me too, it's just like having to I tend to memorize the scripts. I think that's what helped me.
That also, I do that too.
Yeah, you do that too. My dad doesn't.
I have to have a script.
Yeah, like my dad doesn't. He can just come up with the topic and just say it like as it goes, and I'm like, I can't do that yet. So I started off with scripts and everything and memorize those scripts, and then I go. But even then, I was still like stuttering and like not looking at the camera, not smiling. I think that's take 20.
Take 20.
Actually. Like we were doing that video, first video a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, we were like there for a good solid 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're like, it's gonna be quick. You got your brothers out, and you're like, just give us 5 minutes.
Yeah, and it's like, just give us 2 minutes, we'll get it done. And it took us like half an hour and everything.
It did take half an hour.
Yeah. I think it's harder though when you have 2 people and everything trying to go back and forth and everything, and then you get more nervous when there's people around you and everything, and it gets more intimidating. But we got it done. We got the video done and everything, and it got 1,000 views, so that was pretty good and everything. I was excited about that. People were saying that. Let's just end this with one final question. What are your goals for 2026?
I have a lot this year. I usually don't have as many. But this year with real estate, I think it's just added to my usual 2026. My usual New Year's resolutions. I think we like the basics with the water intake, eating more vegetables.
Yeah, me
too. I always exercise, but I'm not as consistent. So I kind of want to be more consistent with that. Another thing for me would be the time, being more smart about my time and what I do with my time more than anything. I feel like that's pretty much it. Doing more things out of my comfort zone.
More things out of your comfort zone,
yeah,
for sure.
I think that will get me more leads and that will get me to improve in, public speaking.
Absolutely, yeah.
And just grow overall. So just trying to do something uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think so too.
Once a month, at least something uncomfortable.
Something different, just to get out of your comfort zone. Yeah, me too. I think for me, for personal life, it's like gym, just to go to the gym consistently and everything. I didn't go this week, but that doesn't count. I was working and everything. But last week I went all 6 days and everything. Nice. And I was in December. I went 6 days. I went on New Year's. I went on Christmas Eve and everything. So I was being consistent and everything until this couple days, because we got new agents and everything. So that's exciting. But so gym, my personally religiously I want to read. My goal is to read my Bible from beginning to end with notes and everything, and just grow spiritually.
That's good.
In terms of business, I want to hire a few more agents. Not maybe new agents or producing agents, but agents that want to learn, especially, and want to grow and want training and want to hustle. That's what I'm looking for. Agents that you're like, I need help. Can you help me? And I'm going to do my part. You do your part. And then we work together to help you grow. I'm looking for agents like that. Just getting out of my comfort zone too with this podcast. I think is definitely something that we're working on, getting out of our comfort zone and being on talking for more than 5 minutes,
Yes,
so just
or from a script.
From a script, just saying what pops in our heads is basically what we're doing and everything. And then grow my income, trying to make more money. Yeah. I think that's everyone's goal.
I'll add to that. I need more transactions for myself this year.
Yeah, what was your goal? Like 6, 4?
Yeah, 6.
6. Yeah, that's a good goal. I think I can for sure know that she's gonna get it and everything. But yeah, I think that's all the questions that we have. Thank you so much for listening.
If you're a young entrepreneur who wants to just jump in here with us and be uncomfortable just like us, feel free to reach out and let us know. We'll start communicating from there and set up a time. Yeah.
We would love to have more small businesses getting to know their personal lives and their business lives and how they're growing it and how they've overcome these things of being such a young person in business, you know? So, yeah, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
See you on the next one.